Hello, everybody. I believe that I've met all of you, but if I haven't, my name is Nancy Hubble, and I am the Senior Manager for Lexus Communications in Texas. But one of the reasons why this place was chosen is because I have a house about 20 minutes from here. And we have a fireplace and a bar, and we'll just knock on the renter's door and let them know that we're coming. And it'll be nice and warm and toasty, especially with about 75 of us in the backyard. You guys in? All right, okay, we'll do that. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. As you know, this ES is being revealed right now in Beijing, and we wanted to do something here in North America. So we partnered with our friends from Lexus Canada, and we've got 3 representatives here to talk about the North American story for the ES. We have Cooper Erickson, who is the Vice President of Lexus Marketing in Texas for the US. We have Jennifer Barron, who's the Director of Lexus Canada. And then we also have Susan Elkington, who is the President of the plant in Kentucky, where this ES is built. So at this time, I'd like to bring in Cooper Erickson to tell us more about the ES and to do the reveal.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How are we all doing?
Good.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the Bold Reveal. It's great to be here with all of you. You know, we're going to have some fun tonight. This is going to be a little bit different from a regular reveal, right? So a few things that are different. There's no teleprompter. So we're really not sure what's going to happen. And I've seen the signs around a bold reveal. I think that's PR's way of saying it's pretty bold to put us up here with no teleprompter. So, but we've got an open bar, we've got palm trees, and we've got this beautiful Terranea resort that we're at. And you know, this Terranea resort, it's special, right? So you might not know this, but it's actually one of 12 Lexus luxury partners that we have coast to coast in the United States to really demonstrate the Lexus lifestyle. And we partner with the hotels closely to try to figure out how to incorporate our products into, you know, unforgettable, once-in-a-lifetime experiences that they can have here at these luxury hotels. And I also have a special connection to this place because I used to, sold my house, you know, some people kept their house. I lived about 2 miles that way. And my wife and I, sometimes kids, but only when necessary, would come here and go down to Nelson's and have their fish tacos. Now, how many of you have done that on this trip? They've got the best mahi-mahi fish tacos. It's on the ocean, on the cliffs. Bring a jacket, trust me. And so, a nice experience, and my coworkers will laugh when I say this because I was pretty gung-ho going to Texas, but there are a few things I miss, and that's one of them. So I called my wife around noon today. I went down there to get some fish tacos, and I said, honey, it doesn't feel right. I'm having fish tacos at Nelson's, and you're not here. It's like I'm cheating on you. So of course she says, what do you know what that's like? How do you know how that feels? It wasn't quite the way I was expecting that whole thing to work out, but we've been married 25 years, it'll be fine. So by now you've all received images of the ES, press kits I believe this morning, teasers out there, but we're super excited to be here tonight because you have to see this product in the flesh. It is amazing, it's a must-see in person, and you'll see that in a few moments. Nancy mentioned the simultaneous broadcast in Beijing, and that's a global reveal, and it's really telling of where Lexus is today as a brand. 30 years ago, we launched with LS and ES. We had 2 products, and 100% of the sales were obviously in the US market. Shortly thereafter, Canada. I believe that was in the 2nd year. But today, only 30 years into the life of a brand, which is frankly pretty young, Lexus is sold in 90 countries around the globe. And China is a very important market for us. So like we launched the UX in Europe, we're launching the ES globally in China. It really gives the opportunity for the markets around the globe to experience Lexus and to have that opportunity. So it makes a lot of sense. But if you ask me, we're better off being here because I guarantee you can't get fish tacos in Beijing like you can down at Nelson's, right? So what's the importance of ES? I get this question a lot. So we're acutely aware that there is a vibrant SUV market in the US. And Lexus is participating in that. We're a leader in the luxury SUV space. You might not have noticed, hopefully you did, but just this year already we have launched a 2-row LX to give our customers additional cargo space, and it's a reduction in the price as well on the LX. First time we've done that. We introduced a 3-row RX, first time in the history of the RX to have 3 rows. It's about 20% of our sales, and customers are really liking that product. And then we launched the UX, which is going to go on sale in December or January, which is an entry point into the luxury SUV market for us. And we're super excited, targeted at millennials, urban environment. So we understand the importance of SUVs, and it accounts for 60 to 70% of our volume. But we also recognize the importance of great sedans. And we demonstrated that with the LS Luxury Performance Sedan we launched earlier this year. The car is doing great. It's up 400% in sales, design, performance, all doing great. The ES is very special. The ES competes in a segment. I'm not sure if you realize this, but there are 10 segments that the industry tracks for registrations in the luxury industry. ES competes in the number 2 volume segment. Highest volume segment, SUV, where RX competes, about 450,000 annual sales. The ES segment is like 350,000 annual sales, and the ES alone sells 50,000 units last year. And being here in California, it's only appropriate to point out how important California is to ES. About 20% of our sales, over 10,000 sales, only here in California. So there is a role for sedans. We feel strongly about that. These customers are affluent. They don't have one car in their household. They have multiple vehicles. They have an SUV, and they also have a sedan that serves a different purpose. So we are excited to have some fantastic products in these sedan markets. So when you see the design of these vehicles, and the reveal is going to be breathtaking. I'm just telling you right now, you're going to have to prepare yourselves for the extravagant production you're about to see. The design you will see has cues of LC and LS. And that's very intentional. It was only 14 months ago that Lexus introduced the tagline, Experience Amazing. But it is dramatically more than a tagline. It's a new attitude. It's an attitude going into our next 30 years. And it's not only about products, it's about setting a new bar for our 240 dealer partners coast to coast. We're already the best in treating guests as we would an honored guest in our home. That's been our hallmark, but it's time to raise the bar. And our dealers are responding with facilities and customer treatment initiatives, and they're really stepping up. But it's also Experience Amazing in the product. We are adding style and driving dynamics and performance to the Lexus equation. And the LC was the first product to demonstrate this. And it's an instant classic. All of you know it. It's just amazing. The LS was the next product. And the third product in really a 14-month period since the introduction of Experience Amazing is the ES. And you will see design cues from the LC and the LS transferred into these products. So without further ado, we are going to have an extravagant reveal. It's kind of chilly out here, isn't it? I don't have a heat lamp over here like you guys have. So I think there's supposed to be music. We're going to cue the dramatic music. We're going to cue... Okay, I was lied to. There was supposed to be fireworks and the releasing of 10,000 doves, but I'm not sure what happened. So, all right, so we're doing low-key, having some fun here. This is the ES350. The ES now has 3 flavors, if you will. We have 2 of the flavors here tonight. So the ES350, please spend some time with it. This vehicle is dramatic in many ways. When you see it from the side profile, you will notice it's very low and very long, and that's for a reason. It's actually it's about 2.5 inches longer in total length. but it looks actually longer than that because the overall profile has been lowered. The hood's been lowered almost 2 inches. But it also looks very wide and planted to the ground, unlike the previous generation ES. The track in the rear is widened about 2 inches. The track in the front is widened about 1.5 inches. And on the exterior styling, the doors have actually been moved in. So the front fenders and the rear quarter panels have been moved out, giving it a lot of dramatic styling. You can see the resemblance of the LS and also the LC in some of the components. It has the LC mirrors. So from a styling standpoint, you can see that it's an obvious change. Now, it has a coupe-like silhouette, but obviously functionality is a hallmark for Lexus. It wouldn't be a Lexus if it wasn't totally usable. So we did not compromise the ingress and the egress and the rear seat, and the room inside this vehicle is a significant competitive advantage. The room in the rear seat, in fact, has more legroom than even our LS flagship sedan. It's one of the highest amount of interior cargo space vehicles in the segment. So that'll be a competitive advantage for us. So in addition to that, this carries a new V6. It's part of the new global architecture engineering philosophy, 3.5 liter, over 300 horsepower, about a 35% or a 35 horsepower increase, direct shift, 8-speed transmission, delivers more power to the ground, very good driving dynamics. The other product that you don't see here is the new hybrid. So the hybrid accounts for roughly 10% of the current ES sales, and it's going to account for more in the future. Lexus has been the leader in electrification of our products for 15 years. We're the hybrid leader in the industry, and this new hybrid is the 4th generation of our hybrids. It has a new 2.5 liter engine. I'll spare you all the intimate details. It's more powerful, it's smoother, has better driving dynamics. And a car of this size, it's remarkable, but you're going to have mid-40s combined MPG. Also, the handling dynamics are improved. The battery is smaller and lighter and moved from inside the trunk to open up the trunk space and underneath the rear seat. Lower center of gravity, better packaging of this new platform. So those are 2 options, but we're super excited about the 3rd option. In 30 years of selling ES, we have never had this flavor of ES. So this time, get the fireworks and the doves and the music. We're ready for the next one. Cue. Welcome the ES F-Sport. First ever F-Sport in the ES line. You'll notice the stunning color. I must refer to my notes for this because our colors are very complicated. Ultrasonic Blue Mica 2.0. I know you're all wondering what Ultrasonic Blue Mica 1.0 is. We'll answer that question after the presentation. So the F-Sport is super exciting for us. First of all, this new GAK platform has rigidity that is amazing. It allows us to give this vehicle handling dynamics that are far beyond anything the ES has ever been able to achieve. We made a real focus on a low center of gravity to make it handle flat, but also have a soft spring rate, so it has awesome dynamics. The wheels are pushed out to the corners of the vehicle with this platform as well. So overall, you have a wonderful package. Interior has very unique trim, and the seats are modeled after the LC seating. The steering wheel is modeled after, actually the same steering wheel as the LC and the LS, and it has some very unique trim called Hidori aluminum. This is a special process that is used traditionally to make Tana swords, different levels of grit with the stone was used to mold it against aluminum and create this very unique 3D image that you will see on the aluminum treatment in the F-Sport model. Standard 19-inch wheels, also has Sport Plus mode, which modifies the engine performance, the transmission shifting, and it has adaptable variable suspension with over 600 settings that provide a great riding dynamic. That's an available option. So look, as you can see, we are very excited about these products. They are volume products for the Lexus brand. They are important for the luxury industry based on the volume that they do. And it is a tremendous inflow vehicle for us for conquest. Even today, after 6 years of the current generation and 30 years of selling ES, about 43% of all of our sales come in from conquesting from other brands. So enjoy the night. That concludes my portion of the fun. I think they're saving the fireworks for somebody else. And I now get to introduce Jennifer. So Jennifer.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cooper. Hello, everyone. Wow, those lights really are bright. And no, I did not coordinate specifically with the vehicle, but I'm very glad with the wardrobe choice. It's really great to be here with all of you. It's wonderful to be partnering with Lexus USA. We've partnered with them ever since the launch of Lexus on different events and whatnot, so it's great to be here. Cooper was mentioning, of course, the importance of the ES to the U.S. market, and I'm sure all of you know that the U.S. market is the #1 market for Lexus globally. You may not know, however, where Canada sits in terms of that ranking in those 90 countries, and we're actually #4 after China and Japan. So, although we don't sell to the volume of ES that our friends do here in the United States, we certainly appreciate the ES as a vehicle within our lineup, and certainly what it will do to help us conquest more customers and introduce more guests to the Lexus brand. I was in Japan, a few months ago, maybe the end of last year, and I actually had the opportunity to drive the F-Sport. And we were taken out on a small test track and got to drive it around some, like a little cones and things, and got to try out the brakes and the handling, and as well as on some of the roads around the racetrack and around the test track. And I remember before I got into the vehicle, I walked up to it and I went, okay, so this is a completely wholesale different change from the ES that I was used to. Certainly the ES that's been on the road for the last almost 30 years since it was for sale. And then when I got behind the wheel and I actually started driving it and put the seatbelt on and started driving it, it was like, yeah, this is completely different. This is not an evolution of the ES. This is absolutely a revolution of the ES. And I recall some of the material that I was going through where the chief engineer, Mr. Sakakibara, he was talking about how he was challenged to develop a vehicle to replace the ES, the next iteration of ES. And he could either go down the evolutionary path or the revolutionary path. And I know as a lover of Lexus, and I know all of you here would agree with me that we're very glad that he actually took that revolutionary path, because what we see here is a distinct departure from what we've been presenting to our guests over the years. In terms of technology, and Cooper talked on a lot of the technology on the vehicle, and I just wanted to mention a couple of other things. From a safety perspective with LSS+, there's some new elements within that suite of safety systems. One is lane trace assist, and that of course helps keep drivers within their lane, adding to the safety. But there's also pedestrian detection at night, as well as cyclist detection. So again, the goal is to try and reduce those traffic accidents and make our vehicles safer for everyone on the road, whether you're in the vehicle or you're actually outside of the vehicle. In addition to that, if you take a look, when you get into the vehicles, you'll be able to see a couple of other things. You'll see that, of course, it comes with Inform, and the ES will bring Apple CarPlay to both Canada and to the United States. In addition, in the American market, it will Amazon Alexa will be introduced. At this point in time, not sure of the future of that for Canada, but more news on that to come, but certainly is going to be available here in the United States. And I can't forget to mention that the head-up display on this vehicle is one of the largest in its class. And then if you take a look when you're getting in the vehicle, before I go on, I just want to say also that when you do get in the vehicle, have a look on the red version. That is where you'll see Apple CarPlay, and then you can test out Alexa on the F-Sport. But when you do get in the vehicle, you're going to see some other amenities, and you'll see the beautiful craftsmanship. I don't think we'll be starting up the vehicle, so you won't be able to experience the Mark Levinson sound system, but let me tell you that when you're in the vehicle and you're driving listening to that music and you're feeling the connection to the road, and whether you're on a beautiful coastal highway here in California or you happen to be on a twisty, windy road in the Okanagan in beautiful British Columbia, you're never going to want your journey to end, because between the music and the feel and the comfort and the quietness, you're not going to want to leave the vehicle. But when you're going through it, you will see some elements of Takumi, the craftsmanship that has gone into the interior of the vehicle. And we're lucky to have with us tonight someone who is very close to that. She is president of the manufacturing plant in Kentucky, and she knows all there is to know about Takumi and the craftsmanship that is going into this ES. So I'm happy to pass the floor over to Susan Elkington.
Thank you, Jennifer. And also, I didn't color coordinate either with the car. I come from our facility in Kentucky, which is our largest manufacturing facility in the world, and the home of the only Lexus production here in the United States. And in doing so, we've developed and mastered a lot of new state-of-the-art technologies, which are used for the production of this new ES. And many of those are borrowed from the LS, including doubling the amount of body bond adhesive and introduction of laser screw welding, which increases the rigidity of the body. And I always describe it as going from a button on a coat to a zipper. In addition, the new ES has over 2,000 components that are either new or modified, including new aluminum hood and fenders, again, like our flagship LS. And to paint, as you talked about this sonic blue, we use a multiple layer painting process, which adds depth in the paint, but then also allows for a smooth and beautiful finish. And I can keep talking about technology, but really, this ES is built for people. And that means it must be built by people. And our people, I can tell you, are very skilled people. You know, the ES has real stitching along the instrument panel, the steering wheel, the shifter knob, the door trim, and the seats. And this is done by our master trainers. This is done by our team members paying fine attention to both the depth and the pitch, as it creates a three-dimensional experience that's not just pleasing to the touch, but also to the sight of our guests. And we have a Takumi, a certified master trainer, name of Robert Lofton, at our facility. And he started out learning to do stitching, not by a sewing machine, but by doing origami with his non-dominant hand. You know, our team members are really trained to utilize all their senses to be able to create this wonderful world-class vehicle. You know, these are things such as utilizing their touch to make sure they have the correct bolt size. Or our body weld team members are able to fill the gap in levelness in fractions of a millimeter, 0.3 to be exact, or 3 sheets of paper while they wear gloves. Now, they can't just do this in any environment, so we have to create a very warm and inviting environment. We have bright but warm lights, and our team members use electric tools versus air tools, not just for the precision, but because they're quiet. So they can hear every snap and every clip of every part that's installed. Now, when we build a vehicle, we try to embody the Lexus mindset. And I think you would agree with the descriptions that Jennifer and Cooper described, that this new S does that. And we are very excited to be able to say that we will be rolling this new ES off our line later on this summer. And we hope that each of you will come and enjoy the Lexus experience. So now, I'd like to invite you to come on up. And I know you've been waiting to do this, to take some photos and to climb inside and experience yourself the new 2019 Lexus ES. Thank you.
That's gonna stir up a lot of photos. Yeah, it looks like condensation. It's not really fun. I mean, it's real. That's sort of the principle. I'm just trying to figure out how to explain this.
I don't want to see what it's like to sit behind myself without moving that seat. You want to try the front?
But it's all on that. You see where it is right now. It's for yucks. Oh, look at that! Look at that! How tall are you? 6'2".
Wow, that's a lot of room.
That's probably the easiest way to sing it. So it's done by a laser and it actually goes into circles.
Yeah, we work for automotive series.
So he said he was getting magic before and I was
That is another question. In terms of assembly processes,
We still have the
wheelbase length is out.
Yeah,
Obviously, are there some processes that allow?
We can tell this is exactly where you want it to go.